What on earth? Where every time I start stream, Twitch always tells me my session is a negative timer. Let me just double check, make sure my audio is good. Yeah. Mic is on. Okay, cool. All right. So again, everybody, I'm fashionably late again to broadcast another Girls Frontline 2 event story and destroy my throat reading all the dialogue. Let us begin. Without roots buried deep in the earth, even leaves nurtured by sunlight, sweet dew, and gentle breeze can never flourish. To bear light in one's hands, one must endure solitude, fear no darkness, and shatter hard rock to root deeper. The warm orange afterglow of the setting sun casts an illusion of warmth over the wasteland. The scavenger rubs a chunk of metal against his clothes as he rummages through a heap of trash. Nothing of value. Huh? A strange noise from nearby catches his attention. The scavenger tightens his grip on a pair of tongs and storms toward the sound. Damn it! It's gotta be Johnny and those rats again. I already told him this is my turf. This time I'll... The moment he spots the Elids, he drops low and hides behind the garbage pile, holding his breath. Good thing I got my gun with me. Damn it. Didn't they just sweep this area recently? He peers carefully through gaps in the trash heap to observe. The Elids haven't noticed him. Their gazes remain locked in the same direction as they snarl hungrily. Is that a person? Ranger. Not from around here. The person being cornered is holding a gun in one hand and gripping a black trash bag in the other. In the next moment, the person swings the trash bag at the Elids, drawing their attention immediately. One leaps up and catches the bag between his teeth midair. The Elids tear into it, shredding plastic and pale flesh-like chunks that so vaguely resemble human body parts. That's a human foot? Intestines. Bright red liquid and meat chunks drip from the Elid's fangs. The scavenger trembles, nausea rising in his throat, but he forces it down. Gotta run. Now's my chance. Yes, run for it. Terrified, the scavenger flees without looking back. Handshake. The mechanical dog places its paw on Nikketa's palm as the children cheer with delight. Nikketa glances at the children. There's more. Lick. Fetch Lily's gift. At her signal, the mechanical dog leaps up, drags a package from the pile of presents sitting in the corner of the office, and carries it to the girl. Is this for me? Wow, it's a toy gun model. Thank you, Nikketa. Lilith is amazing. Woof woof. Could be mechanical woofs. I want a present too. Get in line, everyone gets one. Listen to Nikketa, no pushing now. Okay. Just instinctively said it in Japanese. Amid the joyful chaos, a figure appears at the office entrance. Miss Grace, Mangi Security's regular aid delivery has arrived. Did you check and sign for it? I'll cover for you here. Ah, Mr. David. Easy Security is always so punctual with their support. Thank you so much. The young teacher blushes, clearly quite fond of the friendly young man. Miss Nikketa is handing out gifts to the kids. Please help keep things under control. I'll be back shortly. Oh, no problem. Leave it to me. The curly-haired young man smiles warmly and walks toward the children. Over here, kiddos. Line up and everyone gets one. Long time no see, Nikketa. It's been a while. How's work lately? Heard rumors that the Public Security Administration introduced a new salary framework. You get a decent raise? I can't comment. Regulations prohibit discussing our wages. Oh, come on now. Rules are just rules. What's the big deal anyway? But judging from the gifts you bought, you don't seem much better off than before. Sorry. There I go, poking my nose into other people's business again. I'll stop. David scratches his nose awkwardly. Still, it's a shame someone as capable as you is stuck doing frontline grunt work at the PSA. If you decide to join Mangi, you will have way more room to grow, and better promotion opportunities and pay, too. With a raise, you could get even nicer gifts for the kids. Thanks for the recognition, but I think it's really cool that Nikketa is a public security officer. Last time I saw her rescue hostages on TV, it was so awesome. Me too. I saw her on the street once during a school field trip. I felt super safe. If she quits being a security officer, we might not see her anymore. How could that be? She'll still visit when she can. Nikketa pats the kids on the head. I'll still visit often, with Kulik. Alright, everyone go play now. In response to the command, Kulik bounces off and leads the children away. Mr. David, I don't believe doing frontline work is a waste of my ability. You've invited me to switch jobs repeatedly. I assume you've looked into my background. Yes, that's why we want you. Griffin was one of the rare companies in the field that were both competent and ethical. We were all sorry to see it dismantled. I take great pride in my time at Griffin, but it was nevertheless a confounding experience. Sometimes I wasn't sure who the real enemy was. But here at the PSA, things are much clearer. I protect civilians. My enemies are those who threaten them. Everything I do aligns with that goal univocally? Univocally? I'm not sure if that's a typo or if I'm not familiar with that word. And I really like this feeling of unambiguity. Ah, I see. You are certainly more principled than most humans, Nikketa. Thanks. As for the money, I just do my best to provide what I can for the kids. So for now, I have no plans to change jobs. He watches the happy children with a quiet smile. Fair enough. As long as you're happy. Mr. David, I'm back. Sorry, Miss Chernovo has also delivered a bunch of supplies, so I checked them together. I hope the kids weren't too rowdy. Not at all. Everything is fine. Chernova came by? Kulik, took the birthday gift for Yuna. Oh, there's no need, Nikketa. Miss Chernova didn't bring her daughter today, saying she's off on vacation in another satellite city. Hey, don't you both work at the PSA? Can't you give it to her at work? We're in different jurisdictions and different roles. Our paths don't cross at work. I see. Then we'll just have to wait till she comes back. A vacation. How nice. Maybe you should take our kids on a trip too. Got any recommendations, Mr. David? That's a tough one. I'm not good at picking holiday destinations. Kulik circles Nikketa, gift in mouth, uncertain what to do. Okay, we'll give it to her later. Kulik, put that back for now. Niketa's communicator rings with the PSA's emergency alert tone, a sharp sound that cuts through the joyful air like a blade. Illegal drug smuggling. What's wrong? An emergency? Yes. I have to head back now. Grace, I'll leave the rest here and pick them up later. Kulik, let's go. In the empty factory, several shadowy figures slip into hidden corners. This is Nikketa calling Captain Driver. I've arrived at Cordon Point A, to the west of the factory, awaiting orders. Nikketa Point A, one of factory exits, must hold, prevent escape. The captain's voice is scrambled with static, barely audible. Copy that. She signals her team. Officers spring into action instantly and scatter into position. While monitoring her assigned area, Nikketa tunes her receiver to maximum gain and listens for tactical audio cues. Oof. A burst of strange static disrupts her comms. Dirt, assault, heat, crack. This is the 2nd Patrol Detachment, Nikketa, ID code 040901D. Please respond if you copy. This is 3rd Assault Squad, ambushed in warehouse area, requesting back. Gunshots and screams are drowned out by the noise of metal crashing. After trying the communicator a few more times, Nikketa quickly switches to the internal channel. This is Nikketa calling Captain Jarver. I received a distress signal from the 3rd Assault Squad. Do we respond? Can't reach them. Comms might be down. But what distress signal? I didn't receive anything on my end. Must be another frequency cutting in. Gunfire still echoes faintly through the comms. Nikketa ponders for a moment. You all stay here. I'll go check. Wait, Nikketa. I'll be right back. Alright, for the team this time, I'm going to have a water team. Nikketa.
指示をバチバチバチ出撃みんなのためにご命令は正義現行犯で逮捕するほら危ないよお待たせしました
Nikketa clears the hostiles along the way as she heads into the factory warehouse. Thick white smoke fills the room, obscuring her vision. The gas isn't poisonous. It's potassium nitrate. Maybe gunfire has triggered the fire suppression system? She activates the microthermal imaging module in her optics. There. Someone is lying on the floor just ahead. She rushes forward with her weapon raised. That's a PSA uniform. Still alive. Hang in there. Don't move. Drop your weapon. Step away from the victim. Heavy boots close in, surrounding her from all sides. She sees PSA insignias through the thick smoke. I'm Nikketa, 2nd Patrol Detachment, ID 040901D. I repeat, drop the weapon and step back. Nikketa sets the gun down on the floor, takes a step back, and raises her hands. 040901D. Due to breach of protocol, your operations are suspended. You are to be returned for investigation. Wait. That's an order, not a negotiation. 040901D. Comply. The handcuffs she's heard countless times now close around her own wrists.
作戦完了っと。あ、戻らなきゃ。料理が冷め。
Hello, I'm looking for Captain Jarvis Roberts of the 2nd Patrol Detachment. Is he in the office right now? Nikketa, it's you again. I've already told you many times. According to the directive, you're not even supposed to be inside the Public Security Administration building, let alone requesting to see your former superior. I just want to offer a detailed explanation regarding the accusations stated in the dismissal notice and clarify what actually happened during the incident. Don't waste your breath on me. I'm just a receptionist. I don't understand any of that. But what I do know is this. The dismissal order must be followed without exception. Please leave immediately or I will call security. I don't know where these rumors about risk of going haywire from my model came from, but I'd appreciate a chance to explain myself regarding the accusation of violating protocol. Let me give you a piece of friendly advice, for old time's sake. Any adult dismissed by their original department in the satellite city has a 2-week grace period to find a new job and affiliation. If you still haven't found one after that, you better pray you don't get scanned by any ID scanners. Now, please leave. Don't make this harder than it has to be. Realizing that any appeal would be futile, Nikketa no longer bothers to argue. Before leaving, she takes a long, hard look at the emblem of the Public Security Administration on the wall. The emblem that once gave her strength and conviction now looks especially cold and ruthless. Right. If I were to file a cross-jurisdiction appeal... Vehicles come and go at the entrance to the orphanage. Nikketa stands quietly by the gate. One of the security guards sees her and leans out of the window. Nikketa, you've been standing outside the entrance for days now, but you never come in. Something happen? I'm waiting for someone. Ooh, I can help keep a lookout and let you know when they arrive. Thanks, but that won't be necessary. Suddenly, the person Nikketa has been waiting for appears within her field of vision. Wait, Miss Nisa Trinova. Hearing her name, the woman stops and turns around and is rather surprised to see Nikketa. Nikketa? Sorry to trouble you. Could I have a moment of your time? I need to ask a favor. The woman looks puzzled, so she stops to listen. Nikketa decides to speak as concisely as possible. Thank you for your time, ma'am. I used to work for the Public Security Administration in Jurisdiction E5. During a recent mission, I was wrongfully accused of violating protocols and dismissed from the force. I've tried to appeal, but all channels have been closed to me. And what do you want from me? Judging by your uniform and insignia, your rank is higher than mine. I'm hoping you could assist me with filing a cross-jurisdiction appeal. Cross-jurisdiction appeals are highly unlikely. We've never worked together officially. Even if I outrank you, I can't vouch for you. However, I can at least help you contact your superior and pass along a message. And if you could help me get in touch with my captain, I would be very grateful. His name is Jarvis Roberts. ODE 1313, captain of the 2nd Patrol Detachment in Jurisdiction E5, correct? You looked into me? You've had frequent contact with Una. For her safety, it's only natural that I checked your background. It's a reasonable explanation. Nikketa imprint model VSK-94, suspected of violating protocol on Operation Codename 342, causing injuries to a fellow officer. Further mechanical inspection revealed irreparable performance defects. Result, dismissal. That's what you're trying to appeal, right? How do you know all that? Because I was the one who orchestrated everything. Unexpected answer hits Nikketa like a lightning strike, but she only frowns briefly before immediately sizing up the woman in front of her. Even through the sunglasses, Nikketa could sense that the woman's previously warm, smiling eyes have turned unreadable, as if there's some creature lurking just beneath the surface. Let me properly reintroduce myself. My name is Inessa Grigorievna Chernova, head of the Counterintelligence and Investigative Intelligence Division of the Public Security Administration. Apologies for not disclosing this earlier. It just didn't seem relevant, since our work didn't overlap. And now it is. No need to be so guarded. I'll explain everything. But this isn't the right place for a conversation. Let's get in the car. I know a better location. Wait, before that, can you show some valid identification? Even if you're carrying a PSA badge, I can't just take your word for it. Not bad. Even after the dismissal, you still take your basic precautions. Here, take a look. Nessa presents her electronic ID for Nikketa to verify. Well, satisfied I'm not lying? Her credentials check out. Thank you for your cooperation. Then, shall we go? Sit wherever you like. I'll make us some coffee. After taking in her surroundings, Nikketa sits down on the sofa in the cabin. The cabin is well hidden and soundproof. Not a sound can be heard from outside. The distress call you heard during that mission was actually a pre-recorded audio clip prepared by my tech team. We disguised it as coming from the squad's primary frequency and inserted it into your comms receiver through interference. So, the entire rescue was just a stage performance that you orchestrated to get me dismissed? Your composure surprises me. I thought you'd be more upset after learning you were set up. How my emotional module functions is none of your concern. To me, this is simply filling in the blanks. I already know the method and the outcome, and now I want to learn your motive. But before that, I'd like to know, was that team member really injured? Inessa raises an eyebrow. You care about that? Don't worry, no one was actually hurt. They're all my subordinates, acting under my special orders. You can consider it part of the show. Very well. Then please answer my next question. Why did you orchestrate this whole performance? Sometimes, for more people to enjoy the sunlight, someone has to do things in the dark. Things that can't see the light of day. You used to work for a PMC. You should know how this kind of thing works. When I worked for the PMC, the commander whom I served under was always upright. I'm not familiar with the kind of things that can't see the light of day that you're referring to. If there's something you want me to do, just say it directly. I'll assess whether I can do it after I've heard the details. Alright. Since you're being this straightforward, I'll skip the preamble. Realizing Nikketa's extremely direct demeanor, Inessa adjusts her tone. During the recent operation to seize illegal drugs, we captured some suspects, but upon investigation, they turned out to be just low-level runners. The real big players are still hiding in the shadows. On top of that, we've received an anonymous report implicating Mangi Security. We need someone to go undercover inside Mangi Security and gather concrete evidence of their involvement in illegal drug trafficking. Mangi Security? Are you sure? Yes, same Mangi security that makes donations to orphanages, just like we do. I take a look at the report. Of course. Nessa opens a drawer and hands Nikketa a stack of documents. The report includes a blurry photo. In it, a person wearing a Mangi security uniform is sitting on a worn-out sofa, holding a vial of some substance. And what he's holding is a contraband drug in question. Let me guess that's the guy that we saw earlier. In the industry, it's known as Vitalis. It's rumored to treat doll syndrome, but in reality, it contains minimal active ingredients and is highly addictive. Long-term use leads to mental instability, severe paranoia, and an inability to distinguish fantasy from reality. Oh, so basically some people on social media. Gotcha. Doll syndrome? Oh, that's a common psychological illness among people who live and work long-term in satellite cities. Patients feel that they've fought tooth and nail for the right to live in a satellite city, hoping for a comfortable life, only to discover that all their efforts merely serve to make life easier for the privileged in the white zones. That realization makes them feel like they've been downgraded from humans to dolls. They often develop strong hostility toward actual dolls. No offense. None taken. So, we're investigating this substance called Vitalis. Are there any other photos? No. This photo was likely taken covertly. The sender's IP was randomly generated, probably to avoid retaliation. A single photo like this can't serve as evidence linking Mangi security to Vitalis. We do have a few fragmented clues, but that's not sufficient for making formal accusations. And that's exactly why I need you. Ada casts Nessa a searching look, and Nessa meets her gaze calmly. One last question. Why me? You've had close contact with people from Mangi Security, haven't you? Nessa places another photo on the table and pushes it toward Nikketa. The man in the photo is David. The angle clearly indicates that it was taken without his knowledge. Not exactly close, but he has been actively trying to recruit me. He's been encouraging me to jump ship and join Mangi. And joining them would be a natural step for you. Would it really be that easy? I was dismissed for protocol violations and performance defects. Would Mangi Security really take in someone like that? In reality, your performance defects don't exist. That would become apparent in any baseline diagnostics. As for the protocol violations, well, you know how rigid government organizations are. Private security firms have very different standards and protocols. Believe me, I won't easily pass up this rare opportunity to recruit a high-performance tactical doll like you. Nikketa eyes the document spread out before her, then looks up at Anissa's face again. So, after I complete this mission, what happens to me? You can go wherever you want. You could even come back to the Public Security Administration. I'll reinstate your service records. Of course, you have every right to turn down this mission. It's dangerous, after all. In time, I'll clear your name, and you can still return to work. If you have such a thorough plan, why didn't you speak to me about it beforehand? What's wrong? Didn't like being falsely accused? Ada frowns slightly as she lapses into silence. Her thoughts pull back to that moment when her colleague pointed a gun at her. She pushes away the unpleasant memory, focusing instead on Anissa's words and the core of the matter. No, it's just that with prior communication, I could have responded better. Everything before this felt senseless. For a moment, I even doubted myself and the PSA. I don't like feeling that kind of doubt. I didn't know even dolls have existential crises. Not funny. The mood, which had lightened a little, now grows heavy again. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. I really should have explained the situation to you. This is the general consensus around undercover work, but clearly you've never done this sort of thing before. Nessa sits up straight. Let me put it this way. The reason I didn't talk to you beforehand is because I wanted the whole thing to feel natural, as if you really were dismissed for violating protocol. The less staged it looks, the better. Most undercover agents are trained early on, so they can perform convincingly. But someone like you, who's being chosen on short notice, might act unnaturally due to hesitation if warned in advance. Could have made mistakes that would be used against you somewhere down the line. And that may be true, but weren't you worried things would go wrong? Like if I didn't follow the script? But you did come to me. Nessa smiles faintly. I wasn't wrong about you. Your pursuit of truth has brought you here. That kind of resolve is exactly what an undercover agent needs. And what else does undercover work require? Let's see. Tolerance for loneliness and boredom. Acceptance of the fact that you will give your all and likely receive nothing in return. You'll have to blend into the crowd, and whether you succeed or fail, you can never speak of it. So, are you willing to take the mission? Nikketa looks into Nessa's eyes, sensing a scrutinizing gaze behind her glasses. A strange emotion rises in her neural cloud, but she dismisses it as system noise. Adults don't overthink. At least, I don't. If it's something that helps people, something that's right, I'll do it. Nessa smiles and extends her hand. I knew I wasn't wrong about you. And here's to a successful collaboration. I'm really tripping on my words. Nikketa looks at the offered hand and shakes it gently. Right. Two months after joining Mangi Security. Having just wrapped up a task, Nikketa runs into David in the hallway. Hey, Nikketa. Haven't seen you since your onboarding. How's it going? Settling in alright? More or less. Whoa, your RoboDog actually passed approval? HR must really like you. So, how's the pay? Must be enough to get the kids at the orphanage something better, huh? Isn't it explicitly stated in our contract that we're not to discuss salary with coworkers? Don't be so rigid. But fine. It's cool if you want to keep it to yourself. Salaries of dolls and humans aren't exactly comparable to begin with. Oh, right. Nikketa, come to Hangar 3 after lunch. I'll introduce you to the team you'll be doing next week's long-haul transport mission with. Long-haul transport? What? No one told you yet? Hang on. Let me check. Nikketa pulls out her terminal, which shows an unread task on her checklist. You've got to check your task list on time. That's something dolls should be even better at than humans, right? Man, I'm telling you, this is one of the company's key transport routes. Usually only the vets get. David frowns as he notices that Nikketa is still focused on her terminal. Nikketa, you listening? I heard everything, but I've got something to do right now. See you this afternoon, Kat and David. Let's go, click. Hey, wait, I'm not finished. Before David can react, Nikketa's already rushed off with her mechanical dog. To conclude, nothing suspicious has been found for now. You just joined Mangi Security, and you're carrying out the most basic frontline tasks. Normal that they won't expose you to core operations yet, especially since you used to work in the PSA. The key is to blend in and become part of their background. Speaking of core operations, I just received a task today, one that's usually assigned only to more senior members. Nikketa hands her work terminal to Nessa. Long-haul transport from ODE-13 to LVI-14. Cargo category. Food. Nessa taps the armrest of her seat with a finger. That's very suspicious. The route passes through loosely regulated, or rather completely unregulated contamination zones. Plenty of opportunity for foul play. You mean there's a chance the cargo could be swapped in the contamination zone? Exactly. But if Mangi Security really does run illegal ops like that, they normally assign someone experienced and familiar with their internal workings. It's odd that they didn't trust this to someone like you after just 2 months. I understand. I'll stay alert and treat it as a regular transport unless something seems off. I'm counting on you. Oh, and take this. Nessa hands Nikketa a USB drive. Little gadget developed by our tech team. It can automatically generate neural logs. All my doll agents have one. Pass routine neural cloud inspections. From what I remember, Mangi Security takes neural log submissions every 2 months. The next one is coming up soon, right? Tomorrow, actually. Perfect. Timing. This will get you through the inspection just fine. I also have something for you, or rather, for your daughter. Nikketa hands her a neatly wrapped box. This is Baruna? A toy walkie-talkie and a recon manual. That's the public security officer toy set I promised Una. She's already received the toy badge. This is the rest of it. Oh, I see. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Vanessa seems a bit distracted. She accepts the box stiffly. Anna said her dream is to become a public security officer. She has a strong sense of justice. I like her a lot, so it's my pleasure. Please give this to her when she returns from her trip. Vanessa gently caresses the box as something comes to mind. Mama, the day after tomorrow is my birthday. The investigation shows. What did you say? Una's birthday. It's the day after tomorrow. Ah, right, sweetheart. Happy birthday. What gift do you want? I want the new security officer outfit from Disneyland. Can I have it, Mama? Of course. Once Mama finishes this report, we'll go buy it together, okay? Yay! Thank you, Mama. In the end, that case was too complicated and it completely slipped my mind. But Una never brought it up again. When that case was closed, she even baked me cookies to celebrate. Really is such a considerate child. She is, so warm-hearted. She deserves the world. Realizing she's gotten emotional, Inessa clears her throat, puts on a polite smile. Anyway, thank you, Nikketa. Una may be away for a while, but I'll make sure to pass on your kindness. No need to thank me. Nikketa isn't sure if it's her imagination, but Anissa's smile seems a bit forced. After Nikketa leaves, Anissa sits alone on the sofa and dials a number on her terminal. The ringtone lasts a long time before the other end finally picks up. It's me. Everything is proceeding according to plan. She hasn't noticed anything suspicious. Her PSA records have already been deleted. There's no way back for her. Yes, I understand. Continue to report to you if anything comes up. Wait. Nessa straightens up slightly. I want to ask about Una. Last time I heard her voice, she sounded like she had the flu. She's recovered? She's swimming now? She's got a weak constitution. She'll probably need some nutritional supplements after swimming. I'll send you a list later. Please help buy them if you can. Okay. Thank you. Lawrence. Vanessa massages the bridge of her nose, then looks down at the beautifully wrapped box on the table. Apart from the officer-themed toys, it also contains a cute plush mascot wearing a mini PSA uniform. She picks up the plush and buries her face in its soft and fluffy fabric, just as she used to bury her face in Una's thick hair when hugging her countless times. A week later, the night before the transport mission. So I'm wondering... Very suspicious. Even though the cargo swap is more likely to happen in the contamination zone. Avoiding the surveillance she had previously scoped out, Nikketa sneaks into the cargo hold. Just in case, I should inspect the cargo beforehand. Suddenly, a sound comes from the small door at the back of the hold. Nikketa ducks behind a shelf. Damn, that Anthony kid is getting greedier by the day. His asking price keeps going up. How much did you give him? 200 credit tokens for 1 hour. 1 hour, and he's even limiting our access time to the cargo hold. Apparently someone might notice if we take too long. Who's gonna know once we wipe the visitor logs and the surveillance footage? Plus, the guy always wanders off around this time. As long as the missing cargo goes unnoticed, no one's gonna bother checking the footage. Honestly, it feels like we're overpay. Better safe than sorry. Damn it, these people are ruthless. Let's raise the price of this shipment too. We'll earn it all back with interest. Raise it again? You're not afraid no one will buy? Oh, they'll buy it. Those poor bastards in the contamination zones rely on this stuff to survive. Nikketa identifies the two intruders through voice print analysis. One is David, and the other is a transport team member whom he previously introduced. It's them. David, how many crates are we taking this time? Same as usual. 3. Only 3? Come on, this shipment is huge. We could sneak out more and no one would know it. Ow, why did you hit me? If we get caught, we're screwed. Ever heard of caution? I teamed up with you because I thought you had some brains. Now I'm starting to think I should have gone with a doll. At least she'd be obedient like a dog. Hey, that's going too far. The transport team member tries to argue, but shuts up when he sees David's dark expression. He gulps. Fine, 3 crates it is. Screw this. Why am I stuck with a lunatic like you? Anyway, speaking of dolls, what's the deal with that Nikketa you introduced us to? Only 2 months in and she's already doing covert transports? Who knows what HQ's thinking. They had me cozy up to her ages ago and poach her from the PSA. Every time I talk to her, I feel sick. How much they value her, and how she's learning all our business. You don't think she's being groomed to replace you as squad leader, do you? Told you, I have no idea what those pampered fatzos upstairs are planning. Even if she replaces me, what can I do? These days, actual people have it worse than dolls. Calm down, man. Here's another possibility. What if we'd been found out for smuggling, and Nikketa was sent to spy on us? Highly unlikely. Aside from Anthony, we haven't left any traces, and Anthony's in this with us. If we go down, so does he. Still, keeping an eye on her wouldn't hurt. If she ever does find out... David's eyes flash dangerously on his grim face. She's just a doll. We'll scrap her and be done with it. Yeah, exactly. Just a damn doll. Come on, let's load the stuff into your vehicle. The 2 men bustle about in the cargo hold for a while and then disappear behind the door with the cargo. Nikketa steps out from the shadows of the shelves. Smuggling cargo, deliberate collusion. She shifts her gaze to the goods on the shelves. He opens one of the crates. Inside are neatly stacked canned fruits. The packaging suggests black currants. These absolutely can't be regular fruit preserves, otherwise they wouldn't be taking such a huge risk. Nikketa reaches towards the crate, but quickly withdraws her hand. Not the time yet. I need to find a chance to investigate David. He just said load the stuff into your vehicle. Angie Security's transport convoy enters a bleak town in the contamination zone and stops at a supply station. David, the transport squad leader, gets out of the vehicle, followed closely by Nikketa. Watching the station staff bustle around refilling water and recharging the truck, David makes a remark. Even in a hazmat suit, I can feel how foul the air is. It's suffocating. How do these people get used to surviving in this kind of environment? Haha. Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're a doll. Guess robots don't need to breathe, huh? Though you do mimic the action. Well, that's just to simulate human breathing, to avoid triggering the uncanny valley effect. Dolls don't actually need to breathe. How thoughtful. Anyway, Nikketa, I'm stepping away for a bit to buy some stuff. Keep an eye on things here. An explosion cuts him off. Several ramshackle armored cars and motorbikes roar past, kicking up thick clouds of dust. It's Aryagers. But why are they suddenly... David visibly panics in the face of the Varyagers' assault. Captain David, order everyone to combat readiness and evacuate the civilians. I'll hold the front line. I'm the captain. I don't need orders from a doll. Just go. Ha 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 ha. Boys, look what we've got here. Fresh meat. Slaughter them all. Robbery is a serious offense, and I'm here to arrest all of you. Huh? You? I'm plenty enough to deal with the likes of you. Now, slaughtering is about right here. Damn. Triple kill. Nikketa moves through the battlefield like a panther, her actions efficient and lethal without any flashy moves. For those who glimpse her even briefly, it's already too late. Their fate is sealed. Wait, this transport team's got a doll that strong? Our intel must have been wrong. Screw the intel. Just grab what we can or this whole trip's wasted. Okay, you draw the tin can's attention. I'll hijack the truck and drive off. Whatever we get is ours. You are sending me into the line of fire while you make off with the loot? You think I'm a damn fool? Dirty rust bucket like you dares to lay a hand on my bros? You're so dead. As one of them revs the motorbike and charges at Nikketa, the two men stop arguing and exchange a look. Let's go, bro. Split the tape. Ha! My thoughts exactly. Not far away, Nikketa notices the suddenly moving Mangi security transport vehicle and immediately spots the two sneaky men in the cab. She checks her sidearm, dashes up the nearby ladder in 3 quick steps, and hurls herself toward the charging Varyager biker. Huh? Wait. She kicks him off the motorbike mid-charge, grabs the handlebars mid-air, and swings herself onto the bike using its momentum. After steadying it, she guns the throttle and speeds after the truck. Thud. A dull impact hits the truck roof. The two Varyagers in the cab glance at each other. The hell was that? Probably just another damned rock falling on your head. Haha, we hit the jackpot. A whole truckload. Oh, right. This stuff's in high demand in the contamination zones. We can jack up the price like crazy. But we're supposed to turn it in, remember? Knowing the boss, how much do you think we'll actually get? You got a point. Maybe we should just pocket it all? Are you insane? Still, but we just skim a little off the top. Gunshots ring out before he finishes. Bullets pierce the window, hitting the driver's hand with deadly precision. God! God damn it! The truck veers wildly across the terrain. The two inside are tossed around like rag dolls. Nikketa seizes the moment and leaps through the shattered window. Grabbing the steering wheel with one hand, she aims their gun with the other and fires 2 precise shots into their legs. Bang, bang. Ah! Ugh. Nikketa slams on the brakes, fighting the wheel, and barely stops the truck from crashing into a massive roadside boulder. She ties up the Varyagers and sets them aside before inspecting the cargo. Many of the cans were damaged during the commotion. Black currant syrup and fruit are spilled everywhere. They're definitely black currants. One of the cracked cans, Nikketa spots a corner of a small plastic bag. She picks it up. Inside is a sealed sachet of brownish yellow powder. This be used to make Vitalis? Is it Vitalis or Vitalis? I want to say it would be Vitalis, so I'm going to assume it's Vitalis. If I'm wrong, oh well. Ow. Hey, doll lady. Please spare us. We're going to bleed out at this rate. You didn't get hit in any major arteries. You'll live. Now, I need more intel on Vitalis. These, where do you usually sell them? She shakes the bag in front of him. You guys don't even know what you're transporting? We sell them to underground brokers, or small taverns in the contamination zones. Ugh. They brew it into drinks and sell it to poor bastards suffering from radiation sickness. Radiation sickness? You mean Elid? What now? I don't know. Please, lady. No, Madam Doll. I can't remember stuff like that. You mean that disease where your body grows rocks and stuff? I think taking too much of this makes people dumb or something. Not for doll syndrome, then. So this isn't the raw material for Vitalis? What now? Never heard of that. Figures. It's a psychological condition unique to Satellite City residents. And what is this stuff called? You must know that at least. Look, lady, Madam Doll, you let us go, and I'll tell you all about it. Before he can finish, a cold black muzzle is pressed to his forehead. He looks up at Nikketa, who's staring down at him with an expression as cold as steel. You know very well, there's no room for negotiation between us.
作戦完了っと。あ、戻らなきゃ。料理が冷めちゃう。みんなのために。正義現行犯で逮捕する。ほら、危ないよ。お待たせしました。想定通りの勝利です。本当はもう少し完璧に終わらせ。
Canned food transported by Mangi security concealed a substance called Erdis, a brown powder rumored to contain anti-Elid properties. Its ingredients are unknown. It is often mixed into beverages and sold to Elid patients. Its actual effectiveness is unverified, but it has not passed regulatory approval. It is without question a banned substance. Nikketa pulls out a small plastic sachet and hands it to Inessa, who is seated on the sofa. I retrieved this on site. I have video evidence to back it up. Nessa opens the sachet, pours the powder into her palm, and rubs it between her fingers. You weren't discovered while collecting this evidence, were you? I don't think so. I destroyed the truck's dash cam. The only two eyewitnesses were the two Variagers. I tossed them into a ravine. Statistically, there should be no solid evidence against me. Lack of evidence doesn't mean you won't be suspected. No witnesses also means no one to testify for you. Both you and the physical evidence disappeared for too long. If there's any discrepancy in the cargo count later, suspicions will naturally fall on you. It doesn't matter if they do. This evidence is enough to indict me in e-security, and by then I should be reinstated in the PSA. Hold on. Who said you're coming back? The mission isn't finished. Our goal is to uncover evidence of them trafficking Vitalis. Finding evidence of Erdus, a banned substance, should prompt a full investigation by the PSA. That would likely lead to clues about Vitalis, no? Besides, if the Variager's claims are true, Erdus is already causing serious harm in the contamination zones. The longer it's left unchecked, the more people will be endangered. Ada, I'm not dismissing the results of your investigation, but... Nessa rubs the bridge of her nose. First of all, the security companies backed by big corporations have countless ways to evade risk. Just this bit of evidence isn't enough for a full investigation, and we could lose the chance to keep digging into Vitalis. Secondly, please remember our jurisdiction. We are the Public Security Administration of Satellite City ODE-13. We are responsible for ODE-13 residents. The residents of the contamination zones are not under our protection. So you're saying there won't be any action taken regarding Erdus? There will be. Not right now. We'll file the evidence for archival. Just filing it? Kata. Vanessa's tone darkens. I know that justice is a core keyword in your foundational logic, but justice in the real world isn't so simple. Sometimes, in order to achieve a greater justice, you have to allow some losses to happen, even if it contradicts your programming. So, in order to protect justice, we must turn a blind eye to illegal activity? That logic makes no sense to me. Also, you said the contamination zones aren't within our jurisdiction, but think of it another way. Residents of ODE-13 are committing crimes. Doesn't that warrant immediate action? Don't play word games with me. I understand that this is very difficult for a doll to grasp. You just need to follow orders. From now on, act cautiously and keep a low profile. Hoard things, but don't interfere. Gradually work your way into the inner circle. Understood? Ada locks eyes with Vanessa for a long moment, then finally looks away. Understood. Justice isn't so simple. No. Justice is simple. Don't let those who hurt others walk free. No matter the situation, always do what you believe is right. You guys don't even know what you're transporting? How? We sell them to underground brokers or small taverns in the contamination zones. Ugh. They brew it into drinks and sell it to poor bastards suffering from radiation sickness. Radiation sickness? You mean Elid? People are committing crimes. People are dying because of it. As someone who knows the truth and has the ability to do something, I can't just sit by and do nothing. As the workday ends, employees stream out of the building. Once Nikketa confirms that David has left, she walks against the crowd into the office building. Countless terminal screens cast a faint blue glow on the empty office. Nikketa moves among them and sits at her own desk, pretending to be working on a report as she discreetly connects to level 2. Found it. David's IP address, but it's password protected. Okay, I'm just gonna assume she is attempting to connect to his terminal via his IP address, and the IP address itself is not password protected because that would be very strange. Nikketa cracks her knuckles. Let's do this. Just some recent transport logs. Nothing looks out of the ordinary. Gated scans through the logs carefully. Multiple shipments to the Phoebe factory in LVI-14. Why would a pharmaceutical factory need so much wine and drinking glasses? Even if it's for employee benefits, the quantity and frequency are excessive. Maybe these, like the canned black currants, are just cover goods to conceal banned substances. She spots the PSA border control stamp at the bottom of the shipping manifest. Her expression darkens. Right. Why didn't I think of this earlier? Hang on. While flipping through the pages, Nikketa notices a peculiar number. Among a long string of nearly identical timestamps, one transport log stands out. Order 207-10209. Same route, but the transportation time was nearly double the usual duration. Listed reason, a collapsed storm. Suddenly, her personal communicator rings. She exits level 2 temporarily. Caller unknown. Hello, this is Nikketa. Hiya, Nikketa. It's Mosin Nagant. Nagant and I are on assignment in ODE 13 right now. Why did you leave the PSA? Mosin Nagant? Surprised by the unexpected call, Nikketa instinctively glances at the security camera on the ceiling. I can't really talk right now. Oh, sure. If you're free tonight, come meet us at District K, number 153. Let's hang out. See ya. Got it. All ends. Nikketa thinks for a moment. If I remember correctly, Mosin Nagant works for the Public Security Administration too, though in a different satellite city. Plan begins to form in her neural cloud. But there's one more thing I need to do first. Nikketa backs up the transport records, logs out of David's terminal, and turns off the screen. In the deserted hallway, she stands before the door to the surveillance room. Looks like I won't be buying toys for the kids this month. She knocks several times, but no one answers. Just as she's about to inspect the door's keypad, she hears footsteps behind her. A surveillance operator appears, holding a meal container. Looks like he was out for dinner. Doll? What do you want? Though caught off guard, Nikketa recovers quickly. You must be Mr. Anthony? I'm Nikketa. Captain David sent me to confirm that the previous footage was properly deleted. David. He glances around cautiously and lowers his voice. You're new? Haven't seen you before. I was brought into Mangi Security by Captain David, working for him on the inside. Fine. Of course the footage was deleted. Does the paranoid bastard not trust me? May I double check? It's not your place to tell me what to do, doll. If David has doubts, let him come himself. He should know by now I don't work for free. Gotta pay up if you want something done. Could I please double check? I said no. He abruptly stops, his eyes fixating on the card in Nikketa's hand. I just found this in the hallway. Withdrawal card worth 250 credit tokens. No idea who dropped it. I'll take that. I'll drop it at Lost and Found. I'll be back in 15 minutes. After he leaves, Nikketa slips into the surveillance room and closes the door. Countless screens emit a faint light glow in the room, like eyes, all watching the intruder in their domain. Nikketa steps up to the control panel and begins searching. Found it. Ada floats into her neural cloud as she navigates her level 2. A particular frame catches her attention. In it, David is seen getting out of a vehicle. Nikketa notes down the license plate number. The employee garage weren't only accessible to staff with registered vehicles. I wouldn't need to check the surveillance. Anyway, I've got the plate. Now... Wait a minute. Footage continues. A familiar figure appears, getting into David's private car. Isn't that... No? Nessa's daughter. What's she got to do with Maggie's security? Burrow. Later, in a cafe in the commercial district, Nikketa meets up with Moza Nagant and her team. Huh? Protocol violation? Seriously? What happened exactly? It's complicated. Oh, sounds like you're hiding something. It's been a while since Griffin, but I remember back then, Nikketa was the most by-the-book of us all. But wow, your workplace has such a bad vibe. The front desk totally flipped out and threw us out when they heard we were looking for you. What did you do to your poor coworkers? Ksenia? Sorry, Nikketa. If you don't want to talk, just ignore her. She just likes stirring the pot. Stirring the pot? I'm just curious. And hey, you yourself were wondering why she left the PSA before she got here, remember? I was not. You totally were. You practically had, ooh, gossip, gimme, written all over your face. Be honest with yourself, Senior Nagant, who drinks milk. I did not. Cut it out already. What's wrong with milk anyway? It's not that I don't want to talk. Nikketa speaks calmly, her expression composed but earnest. It's just that a lot of strange things have happened to me recently. Things that are hard to explain. Right now, all the evidence I have is fragmented. Doesn't form a complete picture. Rushing to tell you everything might not be a good idea. You could tell us what you do know. Maybe we can help you piece things together? Nikketa falls silent. Huh. Of course, if you'd rather not, that's fine too. Just a suggestion. Thank you, Moza Nagant, but even if I can't tell you everything, I may still need your help. Help? Is it about that matter? related to your protocol violation? It is. Somewhat. You want our help without telling us the full story? You can't have it all, you know. I'll pay you. Alright, boss. What kind of service do you require? Senya, your attitude changed real quick. Would you say no to money? You've known me long enough. I'll make sure you're compensated for your time, since this would eat into your free hours. A reasonable client. What a breath of fresh air. So, Nikketa, tell us what you'd need help with. I'll need to assess the risk. I have a license plate number. I'd like you to trace the vehicle's travel history. See if it's been to any suspicious locations. The group exchanges glances. Nikketa, you're not involved in anything too dangerous, are you? Asking us to track a law-abiding citizen, this isn't just about time or money anymore. Can you at least tell us why? Why isn't it just about money? Senya! Fine. Got it, senior. Senya shuts her mouth. Nikketa speaks again, somewhat guiltily. Just my fan. Getting hot in here. Sorry, I can't really tell you that either. A heavy silence hangs in the air. I know, it doesn't feel good to be forced into a situation without knowing anything. Honestly, I don't fully understand it all either, so I can't jump to any conclusions. But when I piece together the truth, I will tell you everything. And if this causes you any harm, I'll take full responsibility. Responsibility? What if helping you gets us fired from the PSA? I doubt it will come to that, as long as we're careful. You shut up. Nikketa pauses, then seems to make up her mind. If you do get fired, then I'll support you. Huh? I can take mercenary jobs in the contamination zones outside my main duties. They pay well, and I've already passed the qualifications. Whoa, wait a minute. What are you even talking about? Ozanagant rubs her forehead. Nikketa, this is serious. Nikketa stops talking and lowers her gaze. Sorry, that was thoughtless of me. I do need your help. Out of the trust we were working at Griffin, I chose to ask you. But you're absolutely right. It's not fair to you if I don't tell you anything. Oh? So you are going to tell us the inside story? I'll tell you parts of it, selectively. After Nikketa finishes her account, the group falls into deep thought. That's a lot to take in. So you're saying the person tied to this license plate is definitely a criminal, and you suspect someone else is collaborating with them? Yes. The crime itself is already confirmed, but I haven't reported it yet to avoid tipping them off. I need more evidence to uncover whoever's behind them. Him. But what we'd be doing is essentially assisting an investigation. That's one way to put it. Ozanagant takes in Nikketa's calm but resolute face and finally exhales. Alright, give me the license plate number. We'll head to the Ministry of Transport and dig around. And if you've got other plans, please be careful. I do. Seriously? I also want to ask you to help me tail someone. Nikketa pulls out a photo and slides it across the table. The image is shadowy and blurry, a bit blurry. Everyone leans in. This person, I think I've seen her before. You have? Where? I haven't been idle these past few days after work in ODA 13. I've been picking up side gigs. A few days ago, I was working at a psych clinic and I saw this person. The uniform stood out, so it's stuck in my mind. It's probably Inessa. Really? Can you take me to that clinic? I can, but... Senya, you're not going to ask for more money now, are you? You mustn't. Why not? My intel is super useful. It will push your case forward a great deal. Right. How much do you want? No, Nikketa. Don't encourage her crooked schemes. How is this crooked? Senior, you're poor precisely because you don't know how to hustle. Why, you little... While the two bicker, Moznagunt turns again to Nikketa. I'm guessing you can't tell us why you want this person followed either. Sorry. With a sigh, Moznagunt leans in and places a hand on Nikketa's. I'll say it again. Be careful. Nikketa's calm gaze flickers slightly. Understood. Thank you all.
想定通りの勝利です。本当 みんなのためにご命令を正義現行犯で逮捕する任務完了容疑者は全員逮捕しました
Night in Odessa is far from quiet. Soft light shines from the full-height windows of high-rise buildings, calm and restrained. A tall figure stands at one such window, looking down at the cold cityscape. Mr. Scott, as I was just saying, Mangi Security's parent company has always had a good relationship with yours. We haven't forgotten whose help and support we received to be able to establish ourselves in ODE 13. How's there a link there? Okay. Please do pass that along to Mr. Rurik. Of course. Everything we discussed in this call will be relayed to him verbatim. But please choose your words carefully, Miss Carmen. Naturally. I'll speak openly, so long as it's within my knowledge and within my bounds. What Mr. Rurik seems most concerned about is the other technical team that it assembled. Until recently, Gerard's R&D team has been the unquestioned pioneer and leader in third-generation doll research. We will not tolerate any theft of Gerard's technological achievements at this critical juncture. Please don't let that trouble you. The tall woman glances at her subordinate, who just entered the room, and signals for silence. The VSK-94's data have not been shared with the new technical team. Gerard remains in the lead when it comes to third-gen doll manufacturing. Locked down that tightly? So this doll, codenamed VSK-94, how exactly does she differ from the others we've acquired from IOP? I don't know. Mangi Security is simply instructed to contain and hold on to the doll. We were not given any access to related data. There's been no further directive from the console. Never mind. No point asking further. I'll go ahead and relay Mr. Rurik's orders, then. Carmen raises her eyebrows at the word orders, but her tone remains respectful. Please do. There's no doubt that VSK-94 is special. However, discovering the nature of her uniqueness will require your company's cooperation. Of course, we won't force Mangi Security to synchronize VSK-94's data. That would place our loyal allies in violation of contract terms, which would hinder future cooperation and intelligence sharing. Instead, we hope Mangi Security will assign VSK-94 to a mission within Gerard's jurisdiction. After that, we will detain her under the pretense of trespassing on private property and perform a study on her frame. The findings from this research will be partially shared with our loyal allies. This method also offers a degree of deniability against accountability from it. What a meticulous and well-planned operation. I'll report the full plan to the general manager. Expect good news soon. Call ends. Carmen loosens her collar and sits down on the sofa. The subordinate, who has been waiting nearby, hands her a glass of red wine at just the right time. Pioneer. Leader. Technological achievements. Such bold words. Whatever. Let's hear the report. Carmen takes a sip of wine and listens to the report. Halfway through, she frowns. Why was VSK-94 sent on a covert mission? It was probably due to a dispatching error. Probably? Originally, VSK-94 was assigned to a regular transport mission, but its task number, content, and destination overlapped with those of the covert mission, which resulted in a management error. Has frontline management become this sloppy? I should discuss a personnel reshuffle with Christopher. The woman's lips curl into a chilling smirk. Was there any unusual behavior from VSK-94 afterwards? According to the neurolog inspection, it appears not. Neurologs from dolls aren't reliable, can't even be used as formal evidence. That gives me reason to suspect that VSK-94 has already discovered our covert operations. So, what's next? Next? Since Gerard plans to use the trespassing excuse, why shouldn't I do the same? Before that, I want to make sure my piece is still where it should be. Understood. One more thing. What do we do about David? If it were just embezzlement, we could have just fired him. But he's come into contact with our covert business. This goes far beyond simple dismissal. His recklessness may cause us immeasurable loss. We can't keep him around anymore. So, unofficial disposal? No need to rush. I'll make sure his death is worthwhile. So, this is the place? Yeah. The vehicle owner whom you asked us to investigate, the one called David, shows up here the most frequently aside from Mangy's security's office and his home. Look, the street sign matches the one in the surveillance footage. The two dolls circle around the warehouse. Doors and windows are locked. Let's go in through the exhaust vent. The exhaust vent? My clothes just got laundered. Fine. You better reimburse me for cleaning. They crawl through the vent and enter the warehouse interior. Blech. So much dust. What a dump. And dark, too. Nikketa and Ksenia each pull out a flashlight and start searching. The flashlights gradually reveal the warehouse's structure. While on the left side, many crates are stacked high on metal shelves. Nikketa climbs up and inspects them one by one. Yes, all of them contain cans of Erdus. Something to the right of the rack catches Nikketa's attention. She jumps down and approaches a worn-out sofa placed in the corner. Wait, this spot. She pulls out her terminal and retrieves the photo that Inissa had previously shown her, the one with the person holding a vial of Vitalis. The photo is low resolution, but based on the tears in the fabric, she can tell it's the same sofa. This photo was taken here? She closely examines the silhouette of the person in the image and compares it to David's profile from her neurocloud. Profile silhouette similarity 70% match. But David isn't just slinging Erdus, but also Vitalis. Terrible hypothesis emerges in her neural cloud. Hey, Nikketa, come look over here. I found something weird. Senya beckons at her from a distance. Nikketa turns and walks toward her. My flashlight rolled under a shelf just now, and when I reached under to get it, I found this. It looks like a toy, right? But it has comms and a camera. Kids' toys these days sure are fancy. Senya hands over a toy badge. It's a familiar toy PSA badge, with dried blood caked on it. Where exactly did you find this? Over there. You look kind of scary. Ada walks to the indicated shelf and points her flashlight toward it. Nothing obvious stands out. She grips the rack and gives it a shake, then applies some force to push it aside. The old metal groans under the strain as it threatens to topple over, and Ksenia hurries over to right it. Whoa, slow down. Those crates on top are gonna fall. As the light hits the floor behind the shelf, bloodstains come into view. They're sloppily wiped, but still clearly visible. Is that blood? Hey, don't tell me that what you're investigating involves a murder, too. If that's the case, we really should report this to the public security. Senya continues prattling, but Nikketa's no longer listening. She stares at the bloodstains and grips the toy badge tightly. Oh no, things are getting dark. As night falls, people returning to the satellite city crowd the commercial district, trying to shake off the day's fatigue under the neon lights. Pence Psychological Counseling, District D, number 1124. This is where you used to work part-time? Yeah, and right about now is when I'd be on shift as a cleaner. I already told the front desk to call in a temp. Whew. Kenny stretches, watching the bustling crowd with boredom. I want to go shopping too. Nikketa, we've been working full throttle today. First a warehouse out in the sticks, now a psych office. You'd better pay me for all this overtime. Nikketa doesn't respond, seemingly lost in thought. Hey, Nikketa, are you listening? Huh? Oh, I'm out of funds for now. I'll pay you back later. Senya eyes the clearly distracted Nikketa and sighs. That badge, did it belong to someone important to you? Una's cheerful smile flashes through Nikketa's neural cloud. I can't say for sure yet. Senya, stand guard out here. I'm going in. Alright, make it quick. At the workroom by the entrance, Nikketa changes into a janitorial doll's uniform and pushes a cleaning cart into the office. The fit is a bit tight. The office is still open, but only a few people remain. Consulting room 1, room 4, archive room. There. The archive room isn't locked. Nikketa pushes the door open. Oh, that's poor security. Despite the name, that's actually a server room. A terminal sits in the back corner for data retrieval. Let's see. She types the name into the terminal. Pop requests the password. Of course. Time for level 2 hacking again. Oh, boy.
時間に確実に。デザートはいかがですか？
In between, just want to give a quick shout out to guy that left me a comment on one of my previous event story videos. I5UNB87. Thanks for leaving a comment about the me doing story uploads and stuff. I appreciate it. Hopefully, still continue being able to do it for the foreseeable future. I want to be careful that it doesn't become like an obligation, but you know, so long as I continue to play the game, I'll try to catch them at least. I know I haven't really been timely on the when the events release, but I've been kind of busy, to be fair. So, but yeah, thanks for a comment, man. Or woman, you know, sorry, I'm assuming, but. Alright. She overrides control access. No more password blocks. He now has complete access to the archive database. Data floods into her neural cloud. She quickly spots the answers she needs. Got it. Nessa Grigorovna Chernova. See if this will lead to any clues about Una. Excerpt from counseling session audio log number 700123. Nessa Grigorovna Chernova. Chernova. Counselor. Then let's begin. Alright. When you came in just now, I noticed you kept staring at this painting. Is there something special about it? The girl in the painting looks a lot like my daughter. You have a daughter? 10 seconds of silence. An adopted daughter, to be precise. Adopted? Must have an unusual background. She's the orphaned child of a colleague. What happened to your colleague? 30 seconds of silence. I can't say. Painful memory? Yes. I was there when he died. He died for me. So I must raise his daughter well and provide her with the best life I can. This gift of life is incredibly heavy. That sounds like she means a great deal to you. She is my everything. At first, I truly did see her as just my colleague's orphan. Over the years we've spent together, she has become my daughter in every sense. Even if we're not biologically related, she's still my daughter. Aside from her, is there anyone or anything else that's important to you? For a person, having multiple emotional anchors is essential. 1 minute of silence. Sorry. It's okay. There's no need to apologize. Let's talk about something else. You still engage in charity work? Yes. I occasionally donate to orphanages or take Una along to do volunteer work. Is Una your daughter? You like going to the orphanage? I really enjoy doing that. She's such a kind child, always eager to help others. She does sound like a well-behaved child. More than just well-behaved. She has a strong sense of justice, like a little son. She loves watching the news and gets upset about anything unjust. Even when I tell her there's no such thing as perfect fairness in the world, she insists that even so, she wants to do her part to make things a little more fair. Sense of justice. Did she pick it up from being around you? No. She's not like me. when it comes to things like fairness and justice, I've long since sound of a vibrating communicator, rustling clothes, a button being pressed. Sorry, urgent work call. No worries. Let's end the session here for today then. End of recording. Una, is her adopted daughter? I should listen to another one. Excerpt from counseling session audio log number 700201, Anissa Grigorovna Chernova. Quite lively here today. Yes, there's a sharing event going on. The company even ordered some decent catering. How about a glass of Oldenlandia water? Oldenlandia? What's that? Beverage from my hometown. Apparently it was all the rage ages ago because of its unique taste, and now it's back in production. Want to try it? No, I don't drink anything from outside. Professional habit? 5 seconds of silence. You could say that. That's fine. Let's talk about your hometown. Are there any distinctive foods? Mud cakes, dried grass. Sounds unappetizing. And in the contamination zones, having anything to eat at all is considered lucky. You were born in a contamination zone? Yes. It must have been hard to climb all the way from there to your current position. Rustling of clothes. It was easy, and also very hard. I sold my soul to get to where I am now. In this position, I have to do some very dangerous things. Whether I move forward or back, it's an abyss either way. And your soul must be of great value. A value that can be discarded at any time. Let me ask you something. As an individual, would you rather be abandoned or choose to give up something yourself? 1 minute of silence. Fabric rustling. Either. I don't want to lose anything. You mean, if you give up your current position, you'll be left with nothing, right? Yes. You'd lose your daughter, too? I don't know. My daughter loves police dramas. She's always looked up to me. I'm afraid that if she found out the truth about what I do, she'd be disappointed and leave me. I can't accept that. I wouldn't be able to bear it. One moment. Before we go any further, I need to confirm something. Your work doesn't involve any illegal or criminal activities, does it? 30 seconds of silence. Of course not. So it's not illegal or criminal, but it's something you can't openly talk about, right? Is it? Talk about, is that right? Yes. It's fine. Electronic notification tone. Time's up. That's all for today's session. See you next week, Anissa. Goodbye. End of recording. Born in the contamination zone, sold her soul to gain her position. Is she talking about her current role at the Public Security Administration? Let's see if there's a more recent recording. Got it. Excerpt from counseling session audio log number 710317. Nessa Grigorovna Chernova. 5 minutes of silence. Anissa, we've been doing these sessions for a whole year now, but I still feel like you're not truly opening up to me. Have I done something wrong? 5 more minutes of silence. I read your health report. Both your depression and anxiety have grown more severe. Are you sure coming here every week is actually helping? It is. 8 minutes of silence. I won't pressure you to reveal more than you're comfortable with, but I do have to remind you, if our conversations continue to be so brief and unfocused, then the time and money you're spending here might not be giving you the value that they should. 10 seconds of silence. You really do care about your work. It's just basic professional ethics. 1 minute of silence. Communicator button being pressed. This helps. I just want someone to talk to. Understood. And let's keep having conversations like this. Exiting level 2, Nikketa stands in front of the terminal and reflects on the recordings she just heard. Suddenly, she recalls the strange feelings she had when she first took on this mission. My entry into Mangi security was far too smooth. And from these recordings, it's clear that Anessa is hiding something. Close to the surveillance footage of Una getting into David's car, Anessa must have some kind of connection to Mangi's security. Nikketa remembers the bloodstained badge. I need to record all this fragmented information and analyze it later. Right now, the top priority is finding Una. Ah, man, they gotta fix that. The weird sound bug always happens in the level 2 missions, but when there's a cutscene after the mission, before the mission completed, it does that looping sound in the right side. It is really obnoxious. It kind of ruins the atmosphere. Nikketa drives a transport truck along the roads of the contamination zone, occasionally pulling up a second map for comparison. Order 207-10209. Same route. The transportation time was nearly double the usual duration. For some reason, a collapsed storm. But it was a clear day. No such storm occurred. Must have been something else. Warning. You are off route. Recalculating. Nikketa ignores the system alert and turns into a different fork in the road. As they pass a massive landfill, Kulik, who has been quietly lying in the passenger seat, suddenly sits up and starts barking out the window. Are you picking up a scent similar to the blood sample? Whoop, whoop. Alright, let's get out of here. Following Kulik, Nikketa enters the sprawling trash mound. Oh no. That's not good. The sprawling trash mounds that stretch for kilometers. Rubble, scrap metal. It's like a world long abandoned. Kulik leaps to an elevated spot, raises his head and gently shakes it as if trying to pinpoint a scent in the air. Before Kulik can make a move, Nikketa hears footsteps behind her. Who's there? Hey, how many times do I have to say it? This is my turf. You think you can mess with the king of this dump without facing his gun? Ow! Before he can even draw his pistol, a searing pain shoots through his wrist. He looks closely and realizes the doll, who was some distance away just a moment ago, is now standing silently right in front of him, gripping his wrist tightly. His gun clatters to the ground. Ow! Mercy, please, brave warrior. Take whatever you want. Scavenge all you like. I'm not here to scavenge. I just need you to answer a few questions. You got it. I swear I'll tell you everything I know, ma'am. Have you seen this man before? Ada pulls up a photo of David from her terminal and shows it to him. This guy, I don't recognize the face, but... Scavenger squints at a terminal and then slaps his forehead. Oh, that outfit. I have seen it before. A few months ago, on the other side of the trash hill, he looked like he was burying something. When I saw him, he was facing off with some elids. Burying what? Oh man, let me tell you, I was scared shitless. He had this black plastic bag that was surrounded by elids. To escape, he hurled the bag at them. Guess what? They ripped it open and a corpse fell out. Ugh. Intestines and fingers flying everywhere, just like in a horror flick. Scavenger gestures animatedly, but Nikketa's expression grows grim. Where exactly did this happen? Take me there. Is this a murder case? Am I helping solve a case? Cut the nonsense and move. This is it, I reckon. Scavenger leads Nikketa to the other side of the trash hill. Months of wind and sand have buried all traces. There are no visible signs of the violence that he just described. But the scent of blood still lingers. As soon as Kulik arrives, he starts barking and digging at a specific spot. Here. Nikketa kneels down and begins sifting through the garbage with her hands. After a while, she stops. The scavenger leans over and sees Nikketa staring blankly at something in her hand. A very small child's shoe, powder blue, tattered and broken. That... Before the scavenger can say anything, Kulik, who'd been wagging his tail beside Nikketa, suddenly leaps up and barks furiously behind them. Ah! Elids! What the hell? I thought this area was already cleared by hunters. And this seems to happen a lot to you, my guy. The elids drool and growl ravenously as they close in. Scavenger's legs give out in fear. We're screwed. I didn't bring enough ammo. Step back. Huh? Scavenger stares dumbly as Nikketa steps forward and plants herself in front of him. He cuts a sharp and resolute figure. I said step back. Leave this to me. Dark themes in the story, huh? Are implying that the bag was the daughter, huh? That's no good. This isn't the meeting frequency we agreed on. Seeing each other too often increases the risk of exposure. I told you this before, didn't I? In a dimly lit room, Inessa and Nikketa sit facing each other. Inessa seems irritated. Gone is the warmth and friendliness she showed at their initial meeting. So, what do you want this time? I'll be direct, Inessa. Are you in contact with Mangi Security? Inessa raises an eyebrow. You know what you're saying? I suspect my superior is a mole for Mangi Security. Make that kind of accusation. You must have quite a bit of evidence. Go on, then. Not hard proof, but... Then save it. I didn't expect the doll to be delusional. Or maybe the alleged performance defects of your frame model, the ones used to justify your dismissal, weren't fabricated after all. Nessa remains unfazed. Listen, Nikketa, if you don't want this mission, you can back out. I only picked you because you seem to understand the concepts of justice and duty better than other dolls. In other words, you're the best option, but not the only one. Oh, I do need to correct what I said earlier. Given your performance so far, if you do choose to quit, I won't allow you to return to the Public Security Administration. In fact, I'll request to have all your neural logs purged just to ensure no confidential information leaks. Nothing personal. It's protocol. Nessa speaks casually, but Nikketa hears the veiled threat in her words. I don't care what you think of me, but you do seem to be contradicting yourself. What do you mean? Keep emphasizing how replaceable I am, while at the same time making threat after threat to stop me from quitting. So which is it? Do you want me gone or not? It's up to you. I'm just making the consequences clear. I'm not leaving. I'll keep investigating. Investigating what? Whether I'm Mangi Security's mole? No. I want to find out what happened to Una and bring whoever hurt her to justice. The tension in the room shifts the instant Nikketa utters the name. Nessa's eyes widen slightly. For a moment, she's speechless. After a while, she finally finds her voice. It wavers as she speaks. He said, what happened to Una? What have you found? Nikketa pulls the bloodstained badge and broken shoe out of her backpack. Speaking softly, she recounts how she discovered that a Mangi security employee had been stealing company property, and now she found Una's toy badge in his warehouse. And the shoe? I hacked the colleague's transport terminal and checked his delivery logs. Out of the 78 completed runs along this one particular route, 77 took almost exactly the same amount of time, within 3 hours of variance, but one delivery on February 9th this year took almost twice as long. That delivery's timestamp matches closely with when Una got into his car in the surveillance footage, just a day or two earlier. And so while doing another delivery run, I took a detour to investigate the route. That's when I found the landfill and the shoe. Anissa falls silent. She turns the badge and shoe over and over in her hands, as if searching for any trace of life on the inert objects. At last she looks up and asks with a trembling voice, "You find Una or her?" For the first time, Nikketa recognizes the emotion known as heartbreak in Anissa's eyes. It makes her hesitate to speak the whole truth. No, these two things are all I found. Anissa says nothing. She just stares at the objects in front of her, as if trying to trace Una's story through them. As if bracing herself to face a pain that might be too great to bear. Nessa's breathing is clearly audible in the silence. Man, I'm gonna refill my water bottle at this rate. It is the kind of ragged breathing that gives the illusion of someone drowning. The sound of an incoming call pierces the silence like a knife breaking through ice. The air seems to flow again. Inessa glances at the communicator beside her. On the screen flashes a codename she both fears and despises. She collects herself. Hello. Yes, I'm listening. Inessa stands up and walks to the window. After a moment, she glances back at Nikketa. She didn't report anything about that incident to me. She only said she encountered the Varyagers and lost a shipment. Even if she did learn something, I can file to have her neural cloud reformatted through completely legal and proper channels. No loose ends. Hold off for now? Alright. So it was a task assignment error. No wonder. I've been wondering why she was assigned to run that route. Should I dispatch a team of public security officers to the location? Understood. I've taken note. As the person on the other end of the line seems ready to hang up, Inessa hurriedly stops them. Wait. May I speak with Una? Just for a moment. There are things I'd like to say to her. We'll be allowed to meet after the mission? Alright. The call disconnects. Vanessa remains by the window. Outside, a light rain begins to fall. Oh, cliche. Droplets trail down the glass, passing over her reflected face and vanishing into the night. Maybe it wasn't even Una's. The probability isn't absolute. But who was it? Who was what? The suspect. The smuggler of the illicit drugs. Your colleague. What's his name? David. David Evans. David Evans? Nessa grips the badge in her hand. Its sharp edges dig into her palm. Like frenzied thorns growing from beneath a crumbling ruin, burning zeal fills Nessa with a newfound sense of purpose. David Evans. Evans. Nessa murmurs the name over and over, like a sorceress in the forest casting a dark, grotesque spell. Nessa, ma'am. It's all utter bullshit. What are you talking about? At the sound of Nikketa's voice, Nessa clutches her own throat with both hands tightly. Stop it. Stay back. Nessa gasps for breath, her nails digging into her neck. After a while, her breathing steadies, and her eyes slowly clear. She looks at Nikketa again. Nikketa, you interested in learning the truth? Pardon? About things from the past, and things that are about to happen to you in the future. I originally planned to help that vampire trick you to the end, so that when the mission ended, I could take Una and leave it all behind. But now that Una's gone, nothing matters anymore. If I don't fight back, I'll be bled dry in the end, too. And if that happens, I'll have no way to avenge her. Yes, while I'm still in the game. Ada sees the dark flame dancing in Nessa's eyes. The all-consuming flame of hatred. This intel doesn't come free. I need your help. She spits out the words with vehement clarity. I want revenge.
任務完了。容疑者は全員逮捕しました。みんなのために。正義の現行犯で逮捕する。ほら危ないよ。お待たせしました。想定通りの勝利です。本当はもう少し。
I'm gonna start this mission, and then gonna refill my water bottle because I'm already almost out. I'll be right back. Stop scrolling, game.
理が冷めちゃう。
Huh. That. At dusk, several Mengi security transport trucks enter the docks at the port. We've arrived at the port. 3 more cargo zones until we reach the target location. Listen carefully, Nikketa. I'll repeat this one more time. Your mission this time, officially, is to restock the goods that were lost in the previous delivery. But due to the supplier's last-minute schedule change, they can no longer make the delivery. You and your team are to collect the cargo yourselves. However, this is in fact an abduction targeting you. An armed group will intercept you shortly. For some unknown reason, they intend to capture you first. Don't make it too easy. Put up a bit of a fight just to keep up the act. Got it. Have you installed the remote control component I gave you? Yes. Good. If they shut you down, I'll reboot you remotely. When you wake up, stay still. Understood. After passing 3 cargo zones, the lead vehicle halts. Nikketa sees David jump down from the truck and signal for them to disembark. Are we to wait here, Captain David? According to the mission brief, this is the place. If it weren't for those damn Variagers, we wouldn't have to make this trip. David? Is that the one you said took Una away? Data taps her earpiece twice. That's the agreed upon signal for transmitting information covertly when there's someone nearby. Someone's coming. Hey, over here. Shadow looms within the fog. David waves at it, but stops short when it gets closer. That's not human. First thing to emerge from the fog is a cold gun barrel. Behind the automaton, a wave of red lights flickers to life, as if dozens of eyelid eyes are readying for the hunt. What's going on? Aren't we here to pick up cargo? The armed automaton halts in front of them. Warning. This is private property. Trespassers must surrender immediately, drop their weapons, and submit to questioning. Warning. This is private property. Trespassers must surrender immediately, drop their weapons, and submit to questioning. Private property? Captain David, they're not here for trade. We're under attack. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Who are you?
みんなのために。正義現行犯で逮捕する。ほら、危ないよ。お待たせしました。 かがですか？ご命令をお茶をお出ししましょう。
Seeing that they are outnumbered, many members of the transport team drop their weapons to save their own necks. Seizing the moment, Nikketa suddenly twists her ankle and collapses on the spot. The attacking automaton takes the bait and slams its arm into Nikketa's side. Ah! I got hit! Nikketa feigns pain and flops to the ground. That was not very convincing. Oh? But they're little grey droids, not dolls. They probably won't notice. I think they're just droids. Ada lies motionless. She feels one of the automatons move to her side. Target secured. Now executing. Forced shutdown. In the next instant, Nikketa loses all sensory and cognitive functions.
予想より早く終わりましたね。
Brain function check. Complete. System self-diagnostic. Complete. Power supply activated. Remaining power 100%. Accessing neural backup. Connection established. Loading neural cloud 5%, 20%, 35%. When her senses return, Nikketa keeps her eyes closed. Through her sense of touch and internal sensors, she can tell that she's lying flat, her body rocking gently in transit. The journey seems steady. Nikketa opens her eyes just a crack. Within her limited field of vision, she sees that she's inside some sort of repair pod. Above her is a large piece of curved transparent glass. Beyond the glass is a space that appears to be a laboratory. Nikketa, are you awake? After a burst of static, Vanessa's whisper comes through her earpiece. Yes, I'm in a lab. The identity of my kidnappers is unknown. The one who gave me the order and the ones who kidnapped you don't seem to be from the same faction. Otherwise, they wouldn't have asked me to send a public security team to extract you. They may be collaborating, but their alliance is most likely superficial. At this point, all I know is that the one issuing me orders goes by the name Sharptooth. Sounds like a code name. Gender unknown, identity unknown. It's up to you to figure out what you can from the kidnappers. I'll do my best. Do you know where the other Mangi security members are being held? No. We've stopped. Ending transmission for now. Nikketa closes her eyes. She senses a faint vibration through her frame. A few seconds later, she hears the pod door open, and then feels the cold flowing air of the lab on her skin. Multiple sets of footsteps move past either side of her frame. She senses the data ports on her body being accessed. I've left VSK-94's sidearm here. Alright. By the way, can a doll run a performance test while in sleep mode? Yeah, with the latest upgrade, that function's included. It's too risky to boot her up. This model has incredible combat performance. The defense droids in our lab might not stand a chance. Speaking of which, we've taken in many dolls produced by IOP with more or less the same specs. Why is this VSK-94 flagged for special containment? Isn't that why we're doing unpaid overtime today? Stop speculating. Just get to work. Nikketa feels data cables being plugged into her ports. Some large machinery hums from a short distance, and the footsteps gradually fade away. She opens her eyes slightly and sees a few researchers gathered around an electronic screen, engaged in discussion. Aside from the exceptionally high combat performance, I'm really not seeing anything special here. So, should we report the findings as is? What if the brass gets mad that we found nothing after they caused such a stir? Maybe we should dismantle our frame and inspect it thoroughly. Could be hit some hidden firmware only triggered under special conditions. Routine tests wouldn't pick that up. Possible, but we need to relocate. Equipment here isn't sufficient. Why does it say the target frame is Before the researcher can react, a swift strike from behind knocks him out cold. As another researcher tries to flee, Nikketa whips the broken data cable around him, yanks him back, and drives her knee into his stomach. Sounds of getting beaten up. A stun gun? Good thing I've used one before. He grabs a weapon from the researcher and aims it at the one who's heading for the alarm. Only for arm did he pull askew by the groggy researcher that she hasn't finished off. Bang! The electrified dart hits the floor. Nikketa pivots and fires at the attacker who disrupted her. 50,000 volts send him twitching to the ground, just as she turns to deal with the last survivor. An ear-splitting alarm starts blaring. The lab doors burst open instantly, and a squad of mechanical guards pour in. Nikketa falls back, grabs her sidearm, and dives behind cover. A brutal fight seems inevitable. Enemy units are numerous, not to mention the presence of heavy machines. Letting them keep pouring in like this is not the way to go. Eliminate one wave first, then find a way to close the gate. Alright, let's go. Indeed. Nikketa manages to get the lab's doors to slam shut, blocking out most of the reinforcements. Nikketa quickly dispatches the remaining defense automatons inside. Then she catches sight of a sneaky figure trying to slink away. Hey, stop right there. It's the researcher who evaded her shot and hit the alarm. While she fumbles on the floor for a dropped weapon, Nikketa strides over. Stay back. Save yourself the effort. You can't beat me in a fight. Now, get over here. He twists the woman's arm and shoves her over to the lab terminal. Unlock it. No. Nikketa fires a shot near her feet. The blast makes the researcher flinch and cower. Don't shoot. I'll do it. The terminal is soon unlocked. It's just a ping neuro server. Nikketa delivers a swift chop to the back of the researcher's neck, then catches her as she slumps forward and places her aside. Even though the password's unlocked, I should switch to level 2. It'll boost the search and processing speed. She enters level 2 and starts scanning for the keywords in the torrent of data. Soon she notices that some of the data in the terminal have been corrupted. She sabotaged the system before I knocked her out? I've been so hasty. Wait, what's this? He opens an attachment in an email and finds a list. List of required samples for technical optimization of third-generation doll models. The attachment is the long roster of doll photos and names. Many are former Griffin dolls. She quickly finds her own profile. Aside from the basics, some information is beyond her understanding. Sender Sharktooth. The name the Sharktooth that Inessa mentioned. Same. Participant of Project Nebula Wind. Project Coronal Hole. Priority Containment Subject. What on earth are these? Rolling further, she spots two familiar faces. OTS-14 and DP-12. Why are they also here? OTS-14, like Nikketa, is flagged for special attention. Meanwhile, DP-12's profile is nearly blank aside from her basic information. None of this makes sense. This will need further investigation. First, let me copy everything. After exiting level 2, she hears pounding from outside the doors. At the same time, a call from Inessa comes through. Any findings? For a moment, Nikketa can hear strange noises on Inessa's end. It seems to be a temporary lab. Useful data is scarce, but I did find some things. Sending them to you now. Wait, what's that whimpering sound? Let's cool it. Don't you remember? You left it with me. Things also sound pretty bad on your end. Security droids are about to breach. I've got 5 minutes max. She hits send. The progress bar crawls slowly on the terminal screen. Should be enough. My public security team's in position around the building. By the way, are you really set on this? Nikketa tosses the unconscious researchers into a repair pod and shuts the lid, and then starts searching for disassembly tools. But on what? Staying with Mangi security? Isn't that the plan we discussed? Finding the tools, Nikketa sits and begins dismantling her own leg. Going undercover isn't easy. The pressure of being discovered is one thing, but worse is having to do things that go against your values. We thought about this before, and even though you complied, I know you didn't agree with it. I didn't. That's why I keep digging. I've already reported the Erdis lead to the proper authorities. They'll act on it. She removes several micro-explosives from her open frame. She plants them on the doors and the terminal. I might not be able to contain all the damage, but I'll save as many lives as I can. That's my philosophy. Now that Sharktooth is starting to suspect me, the next step will be full neural cloud reformatting if they uncover anything else, right? Yes, but I don't think they want to resort to that yet. They seem to be more interested in the data generated by your original neural cloud processes. And this is a necessary step. She attaches the final explosive to her own frame. If I destroy my current neural cloud backup, I'll notice it when they run diagnostics on me. It'll serve as proof that I remain completely in the dark. It's the only way for me to stay at Mangi. With you helping from the outside, we stand a chance of uncovering who Sharktooth really is, and what they're plotting. Besides, like I said before, what? If it's something that helps people, something that's right, I'll do it. And by people, I mean everyone I can perceive, not just those defined by the rulebook. Nessa chuckles softly through her earpiece. I really was right about you. I never knew you were this optimistic. Maybe it's just part of my foundational programming. Say, is your tech team reliable? Rigging such a powerful bomb here won't blow my neural cloud to smithereens, will it? No promises. Figures. Nikketa grabs the detonator. Just like you said, this is a necessary sacrifice. Keep my neural log safe. I'll see you on the other side. With that, Nikketa presses the detonator button without hesitation.
任務完了。容疑者は全員逮捕しました。
It's pretty brutal, man. Man, I have to say, like, a lot of the prior event stories recently have been more on the lighthearted side. And then this one is like really dark. But I guess it's to be expected, considering the nature. Girls Frontline is no stranger to dark stories, especially in the first game, as we all generally know. I still need to get around to catching myself up on that, but it's gonna take a while going through people's videos summarizing the story. Yeah, it's years of story too. Well, I mean, to be fair, they don't release story like every day or something, but still, I'm sure it's quite a lot. But it's an interesting story, so eventually. After all, if I didn't think it was interesting, I wouldn't be recording these VODs. Going through the story myself. I have to say, for the future, I do hope that people have recordings, or at least summaries of the early event stories before I started doing these, because the game is definitely not very good in keeping that in the like archive thing. Only the primary like main story stuff seems to be there, and like I think maybe one of the first large events might have been a Fellion when they started doing the backlog for the event stories. I don't remember. I also don't really frequently look at it, to be fair, but enough yapping. Thunderous explosion erupts from the other end of the call. Nessa doesn't linger. She switches her comms to another channel while keeping her gun-wielding hand raised and ready. Reach now. Get Nikketa out. Detain the rest of the Mangi security personnel. One's missing? Something nudges her weapon. Nessa glances down, then presses her gun harder against his target. Doesn't matter. Leave the search for later. First, get Nikketa out. She hangs up. Oh, she on David, I'm sure. Nessa squats down. Yep. Nessa squats down, moving the muzzle of her gun from David's forehead to under his chin. What were you shouting about just now? Hoping Nikketa would come to your rescue? Nessa yanks out the gag from his mouth. Crazy bitch! Who the hell are you? Think carefully before you speak. You call me crazy? You're not much better yourself. You have doll syndrome, don't you? What the hell are you talking about? I don't understand a damn thing. That's okay. I just want you to take a look at something. Do you know this girl? Nessa pulls out a photo and holds it in front of him. The moment he sees the photo, he visibly panics and averts his gaze. No, I don't know her. I've never seen her. That's right, never seen her. Bang! Nessa shoots him in the foot. And Nessa grabs his hair, forcing him to look her in the eyes. Never seen her? Want me to help jolt your memory? I haven't seen her. Talk straight, and I might leave your corpse intact. Nessa fires another shot, this one grazing David's thigh. He screams in agony. Don't delude yourself that anyone's going to save you. To your company, you're trash. Actually, no. Trash at least has recycling value. You don't even have that. So I'll ask you again. Have you seen this girl? I haven't. No. Wait. I have seen her. David's expression goes blank. His terror transforms into mania. I have seen her, but it wasn't a person. It was a doll. It looked just like her. What I killed was a doll. So it really didn't really count as killing, right? Disassembled, damaged, destroyed. Anyway, I did nothing wrong. What I destroyed was a doll. Beneath her sleeve, veins bulge along Inessa's arm. She takes a deep breath and steadies her voice. Tell me, why? Why did you destroy her? Why? Because she was a doll. Why the hell should a real, superior, dignified human like me have to escort a lowly, filthy doll? Dolls may look like little girls, but they're crafty. You saw me taking drugs. You saw me stealing cargo. Couldn't let her live. She had to die. So, you killed her. Nessa's finger tightens on the trigger. Her voice trembles. Killed? That's not the right word. It was disassembly. I tore her into pieces, stuffed her into a bag. So much red tissue and lubricant came pouring out of her. It took me fucking forever to clean up. Then I packed her into a plastic bag. I was looking for a scrapyard. Wanted to make a little money. His voice, like a rusted blade grating through the air, pierces Inessa's skull and tears up the last shred of her sanity. Her breath quickens as if the oxygen is draining from the room. She braces her against the wall with one hand, still holding the gun with the other. David's maniacal face begins to blur in front of her. No, not yet. She grips the pistol with her other hand to prevent accidental discharge, forcing herself to look at him. She pushes words through gritted teeth. And then I found a garbage dump, but I ran into Elids on the way. Couldn't let myself get eaten by Elids. I got profitable gigs to run. So you used Una's body as bait to save yourself. That wasn't a body. Ugh. Nessa can't take it anymore. She shoves the muzzle of her gun into David's hand and fires straight into his palm. Ah! Killed her. You killed her. She was a person. A person. A person. She could feel pain. She could feel she was alive. A human being. Next, she shoots him in the throat. How does that feel? That pain you feel now. That's what she felt. And even though I don't want to admit you're a human, but this is what you did. You murderer. You murderer. Broken sobs echo through the warehouse, but the gunshots continue. Eyes, thighs, mouth. Vanessa keeps pulling the trigger, not noticing that the lifeless body has already stopped breathing. She fires the final bullet, and she lowers her arm. Before her lies a mangled, unrecognizable pile of flesh, crumpled grotesquely at her feet. The warehouse is cold, but the rage has left her hot and breathless. She picks up the photo that had fallen to the ground. It's soaked with blood, but the girl's smile in the image is still warm and sweet. Inessa wipes the blood from the photo with her fingers. She lets out a wretched sob, like a lioness who finds her cub long dead. After a while, she finally speaks. Her voice is hoarse from her earlier outburst. I've killed two, but I don't regret it. I avenged you, Una. Mama avenged you, and this is just the beginning. I won't stop till all vengeance is served. I promise you. Night. Blank, blank, 2071. He's extremely dissatisfied. This operation yielded no usable intel, and we lost a research facility for nothing. Worse yet, the Public Security Administration is now watching us. What do you intend to do about this? Please don't worry. We'll take full responsibility. Our interests are aligned with the Gerard Group's. Aligned. Or are you just greedy for more? So many simple missions ended in failure. Aren't we right to suspect your loyalty? You're joking. Where's the evidence of divided loyalty? Since the URNC government dispatched the chairman to oversee Odessa, their policies have clearly aimed to strip us of control. You've certainly profited from those changes, haven't you? I don't know about business, but the message I've received from above is clear. We fully support your group's actions. Fully support or fully obstruct? Maybe someone else is doing the obstructing. What do you mean? It fears the power of the Gerard Group. That's a bold and dangerous accusation. You are leading third-generation dull technology, standing at the forefront of the era, and those who stick their necks out often have guns pointed at them. If your group insists on forcing your way into Project Coronal Hole, you'll attract even more attention. Including yours? Armin lets out a sigh. Actually, just before the conference call, I got the general manager's approval. We'll bypass the terms and conditions of Project Coronal Hole and begin synchronizing VSK-94's data to your group going forward, to support your R&D plans. It might just take a little longer. VSK-94 was seriously damaged in the incident, and we're doing everything we can to repair her. Although, we don't quite understand what's so special about her. To show our loyalty and unwavering support to your group, we are willing to do everything in our power to help the Gerard Group stay ahead in third-generation dull development. If this had been your attitude from the start, I wouldn't have doubted you so much. It was our oversight. As an apology, we'll build a new research facility for Gerard. Additionally, our current research into anti-ELID technology can also be shared with your group, to some extent. Understood. I'll report this to the CEO. Also, I'd like to know, how do you plan to deal with the Public Security Administration? We found a scapegoat. Handing him over to the authorities should suffice. You can rest easy on that matter. In a few days, you'll see the result on the news. Alright, we'll await your update. Let's leave it here for today. Goodbye. Transmission terminated. Carmen turns to look at her subordinate. How's the David situation being handled? All the materials have been compiled. I'll forward them to Miss Nessa shortly. Good. smuggling illicit drugs, unauthorized access, triggering a mech riot, and killing an important bargaining chip. That man has outlived his usefulness. Dead men tell no tales. But we may lose our grip on Miss Anessa. Didn't you agree to let her meet her daughter after the mission? You mean... Carmen swills her wine glass. The deep red liquid casts a somber hue across everything. Once the mission's over, let her meet her daughter.
予想より早く終わりましたね。
A month later, when Nikketa awakens again, Nessa is standing by the repair pod. He looks around. It's a small room, cozy and lived in. On a nearby cabinet, a cute plushie in a PSA uniform stares at her with beady eyes. Are you really sure about this? Didn't we have this conversation a month ago, before the explosion? Ah, looks like the neural backup did sync properly. How's your month at Mangi Security been? Same as before. Routine logistics missions. I inspected every shipment. No drugs. Lying low after what happened is only natural. They're biding their time. But honestly, are you really going to stay at Mangi Security? Even if you avoided Sharktooth's purge for now, based on what I know of them, they won't let go of their suspicions that easily. They've probably grown suspicious of me too. At this rate, the intel you'll be able to gather from inside might be negligible. Ada is silent for a moment. She steps out of the repair pod and flexes her joints. Did you see the report on David? I did. A few days after the lab incident, they named him the mastermind. He was already dead, though, reportedly shot by the lab's mechanical guards by mistake. Just like you said, these security firms backed by major corporations always have ways to avoid liability. As long as they produce a scapegoat, the fallout is minimal. David was guilty, yes, but he was just a puppet. The puppeteer is still in the shadows. That's why I want to drag them out into the light. At first, I joined the Public Security Administration just to protect those around me, but now I've realized that dealing with crimes in the open isn't enough. Ada walks up to the window. Heavy clouds blot out the sun. The satellite city is awaking again to continue its slow decay. You said earlier that they'd keep a tight leash on me, and the chances of me finding anything are slim. But slim doesn't mean none, does it? Especially since I still have something they want. Even if I can't obtain any intel, just being inside means there will be a time when I'm needed. Besides, Nikketa looks into the distance. I found a few former colleagues of mine on that list, which means this might be connected to Griffin, too. And if it is, then someone I know will likely get implicated. Conspiracies and darkness fester in the shadows just beyond the sunlight. If I don't step into it myself, I'll never uproot the sickness that lies beneath, and I won't be able to protect the things I truly want to protect. He turns back to face Anessa. Face is in shadow, but her blue eyes shine brightly. I don't want to lose anything important ever again. Nessa looks down at her hand and smiles. Only then does Nikketa notice this way badge in Nessa's hand. The bloodstains on it have been wiped clean. They're a lot like Nikki. Nikki? He's a character from a cartoon that Una loved. Detective. Honest, righteous, selfless. No wonder Una adored her. No wonder she adored you. About Una. She always said that when she grew up, she wanted to be like me. Be a public security officer and protect the people of the satellite cities. One day, when she was still very young, I took her to the city's museum. That's where she first learned about the contamination zones. On the way home, she kept asking me, Mama, if I become a public security officer, can I protect the people in the contamination zones too? The contamination zones aren't under the PSA's jurisdiction. Then where do I have to go to protect the people there? Well, Mama doesn't really know. Contamination zones are very big and very dangerous places. Isn't it better to stay in the satellite city? Mama protects the satellite cities. The little girl tugs on Ines' hand. Mama came from a contamination zone too, right? I want to protect more people like you. Sometimes I wonder if someone like Una had rescued me from the contamination zone back then, would everything be different now? She treated everyone around her with such pure kindness. I'm not very good at comforting people. Nessa exhales deeply, pulling herself out of her emotions. No need to comfort me. I just figured, since we'll be working together long term, and trust is the foundation of cooperation, I might as well tell you a bit of my past. She straightens up slightly. I used to belong to the Neo-Soviet Military Special Intelligence Unit, and I was embedded as an undercover agent in the URNC's public security system. The Neo-Soviet military. That's right. That faction's gone now, but back then we were just pawns at the very bottom of the food chain. Back then, they claimed we were working for a better tomorrow, for justice and global order. At first, I only joined to get by, to put food on the table. But for a time, I truly believed in the work. I thought, if we won, people like me would finally be protected. But all we did was hurt more people like me. I could never tell Una about that. I was not a good role model for her. She takes a sip of water and continues. Was that me? After General Carter fell from power, my colleague and I returned to our military base to erase our files. But somehow, all our data had already vanished. During the retreat, my colleague was shot dead by opposition forces while covering me. Before he died, he entrusted Una to me. So you're not even from the URNC. I wanted to become a citizen, to live like a normal person under the sun. Until Sharktooth found me. They had my file. They used it to blackmail me into using my rank and authority to carry out their dirty work, and they took Una away from me under the guise of protection. I tried to uncover their identity, but they were too elusive. They never appear in public. I found no clues. Nikketa remained silent. Does your sense of justice urge you to arrest me right now? Your crimes are for the court to decide. For now, we are just partners. Court. Depends on whose court it is. But you're right. We're partners right now. We have more important matters to deal with, one step at a time. For you, it's about exposing the real mastermind. For me, it's revenge for Una. I feel so very guilty. Her voice grows faint. It's impossible to tell if she's speaking to Nikketa or to herself. She could have become the person she had always dreamed of being, but her life got snuffed out because of my weakness. Only I'd taken her and run. I'd given up everything. My status, my identity. She already became who she dreamed of being. Nessa watches as Nikketa excuse me, as Nikketa walks over and takes the toy badge from her hand. Nikketa presses a few spots on the badge, and Nessa's private terminal beeps. This is... She takes out her terminal and sees an unread message. Upon opening it, she finds the photo, taken from Nikketa's perspective, showing herself. This toy badge is capable of taking and sending pictures. The anonymous informant who provided that photo you gave me before was Una. Anessa stares blankly at the photo. Even when her own life was in danger, she chose to uphold the justice in her heart and sent valuable information to the person she trusted most. She already... Throat, please. Almost done. She already became the person she dreamed of being. Listening to Nikketa's voice, so much softer than usual, Anessa slowly rubs the badge with her fingers. Nikketa, you're actually surprisingly good at comforting people. She slowly buries her face in her hands. It is a silent cry of grief. Nikketa averts her eyes. Her gaze happens to land on the plushie sitting on the cabinet dressed in a PSA uniform. It too silently watches over the sorrowful woman. That is what the VSK-94 Nikketa has gone through. She's still working undercover inside Mangi's security and will be sending us intel periodically. Commander, Groza is also on that list, so please take extra precautions and stay vigilant. The Almo travels smoothly on the road to Lviv. Outside the window, the sky is thick with clouds and the view is dim. I suddenly find myself picturing Nikketa's golden hair, radiant as the morning sun. Even in a murky, shadowed world, that clear path is reflected in her brilliant blue eyes. The thought makes me smile quietly, and I try to hold her image in my mind for as long as I can. Alright, Kun, I understand. By the way, Nikketa asked me to pass along a message to you. What is it? I will lie in wait in the darkness, but if you ever need me, I'll meet you in the light, boss. That was good. That was good. Sad and dark, but it was good. I'm really glad that the dev team are rewriting all of the stories and stuff from what I heard from other people prior. The one chat member from the other stream. Because it did sound like the story was kind of, fucked with pretty hard, so. But yeah, I'm glad. Honestly, I have played quite a few gacha games, mobile games, whatever you want to refer to them as. And of the ones where I could even read the story in the first place, usually I don't really care for it too much. Sometimes they have good stories, but it's usually kind of just generic stuff, because their focus really isn't writing a good story, it's, making money and designing eye-catching, waifu characters or husbando characters or whatever, depending on depending on the game, so that people will, spend more money in the gacha. But this one has to probably be the one that I would say that has one of the best stories that I've read, and it actually keeps me coming back to continue going through it. So, props to the writers, and it just continues to make me kind of regret not going through the first game even though the gameplay of the first game was it wasn't awful, but I couldn't really tolerate it very well. It just got really ridiculous past like a certain progression point. So. But anyways, yeah. So that's it for the Umbra event story. I'm kind of curious what the next event drop is going to be. I haven't really heard anything about it specifically, but maybe they did announce what doll banner is next and I'm forgetting or whatever, but regardless, I guess I will see you guys next time for the next one, and until then, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, good rest of your evening, good rest of your night, whatever the case. And I will see you. Thanks for watching. Until next time.